Today's video is sponsored by Forto. While this video is sponsored by Forto, all views and opinions expressed are my own. Let's get started with the unboxing. Right here we can see we have the SP2000 Spotlight. This also has a whole ton of other features. Let's go ahead and start the unboxing, and we'll go ahead and demonstrate those features to you later. When we open up the box, first thing we see is a bubble wrapped bag full of our Spotlight, a USB to USB-C charger, that's nice, a lanyard to keep it on your wrist, as well as some instructions, a user guide. And this is everything that comes inside of the packaging. This is a pretty simple start here, so let's just go ahead and start by pulling the trigger and see what happens. That is bright. Oh, look at that. Red light and off. Okay, so the trigger, you just pull it and it's on. You don't have to pull the trigger and hold it. You just pull it and it'll switch between the 6 different lighting modes. So our first one is the full brightness pew 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 spotlight. You can see everything. This is 20,000 lumens.
Oopsie, that's a typo on the listing. It's 2,000 lumens, not 20,000. 2,000.
So for comparison, I actually have a very popular Streamlight MicroStream USB that I use for work that is rather bright. Granted, it doesn't look terribly bright here with all these lights in the studio and stuff. And this thing is bright. This guy is 500 lumens and this is 2,000 lumens. That is a Spotlight. On top here, we can see there's kind of like a kickstand looking thing. That is so that you can set it up on a table or something like that and have it just be shining. Imagine you're playing some cards with some friends by the campfire. There you go. It's kind of nice, right? So the first trigger pull is our full brightness 20,000 lumen Spotlight. We pull the trigger again, it goes into our low light mode, which is still quite bright. I'd say, yeah, still definitely brighter than my 500 lumen flashlight. Next we pull the trigger again and it goes to our side floodlight. That's our third press. The fourth press will go into a red SOS flash. It's not actually doing Morse code for SOS, it's just a flashing red light. Now there's 2 other modes that are accessed by a different trigger pull. What you'll do is you'll press and hold for 3 seconds, and now the highlight will stay on, and so will our flashing red light, so that maybe you're working on your car by the side of the road and you need some attention while also shedding light on your vehicle, your car, whatever else. It'll grab attention and shine light where you need it. The 6th one is if you push the trigger one more time once you're in here, or our second long press for 3 seconds is low brightness, but also that. So if the high is just too bright for working with, it's just blinding, you can turn it down and also have the flashing red light for yourself. This also boasts a really cool feature that I would have never thought of with a flashlight like this, but check this out on the back. You ready? Yeah, you see it. USB charger. So we can connect a regular USB plug here. Yeah, I bet you guys were wondering, like, how is this just to charge it? No, this is so that you can charge other things like a cell phone. You can see up here we got the lightning bolt in the battery, meaning that we are charging. Next, let's look at how quickly it charges. I have a USB-C charger that's got a little display on it, and so this will tell us how quickly it charges. Right now it looks like we're coming in at about 8.8 watts. Does it work while charging? It does. Oh, and it remembers what mode we were in last. That's kind of nice. So we can set this up, have a charger running to it to run light and continuous power. That's kind of nice. Another thing I'd like to test to see if it can charge the other direction, USB to C to C. And it looks like No. So it can only send power out using the regular USB-A port, but the USB-C port is how it receives power. It'd be nice if you could just do C to C, have all in one, not have to worry about that, and even just have 2 charging ports so you can charge 2 devices at once. But instead, we do have just these 2 port options here. For those of you wondering, this does have a 4400 milliamp hour battery that is used to run the lights, but also can be used to recharge your devices. So I think we covered pretty much everything on this guy. We got a nice rubber grip, a cool trigger, and then we got a little bit of a kickstand so that you can set it up to point at whatever you want it to look at when maybe as a work light kind of thing. But let's go ahead and take this outside and see how it performs. Hey guys, at the time of filming this, I am so close to 3,000 subscribers. And to say thank you, I'm gonna be hosting a giveaway. This will be run until the end of the year, December 31st, and you can get extra entries every single day that you enter. I'm gonna be giving away 5 products that I've reviewed on this channel. This will be limited to the US just because I will be shipping it out myself, and names will be drawn in the new year. The gleam.io link will be down in the description of this video, and thank you so much for subscribing. Back to the video. All right, we have made it to the outdoors, and I am actually using the floodlight on the side of this to light me here for this shot. You can see how well this floodlight is working. As you can see, it's also raining right here on top of me. Don't have to worry about it with this guy because it is IPX7 water resistant, which means you can dunk it up to 3 feet of water, so a little bit of rain, not gonna hurt this guy. Just make sure that the seal for your charging ports is closed. Now let's go ahead and show you all of the other cool features on this guy, such as shining it into the middle of the woods behind me. All right, so our first shot here is going to be our high brightness at 2,000 lumens. Oh, look at that. So you can see it definitely has a spotlight right here in the center, but also there is area around it that is being illuminated quite a bit. You can see it as I move off to either side, you can see where it's not lighting up. So it has a spotlight center with a very well lit flooded area. It looks like it's shining easily about 100 yards. Next, let's go ahead and show you the low brightness. So this one is not nearly as bright, but still illuminating really well. This is much softer, so if you happen to be shining it at someone, it won't be nearly as painful to stare at, whereas the other one is like looking at the sun. This one, you can definitely spot things like deer or animals, but also you can see that it is flooding the area with lighting, so if you're walking down a trail, you'll feel comfortable looking at where you're walking. Next, let's show the floodlight mode. So here, it is much dimmer. This would be great for working in an area. I can shine this on myself, I can shine it on the ground. So it's not bad. I can see where I'm walking, things like that. Or if you're camping, this would be really great to set like on the table to illuminate the table. That would be a good situation to use that kickstand we talked about. And lastly, let's go ahead and show the flashing red light. Not a whole lot on the ground. You can definitely see it is illuminating. And then a perfect example for when you will use something like where you press and hold the trigger for 3 seconds. You get our flashing red light, but also have a spotlight. Say that you're broken down on the side of the road. You'll set this down to shine down on the road like, hey, watch out for me. But also, I can be over here working in the light or pointing out like, hey, stop, wait, don't go, the bridge is out ahead. And if this is too bright for you to work with, you pull the trigger again and you get our 6th mode, where it's a more dim lighting, so you can actually use this more of a working light. So if you're changing a tire in the middle of the night, you set that up to shine where cars will be able to see that, but also you'll be able to see what you're working on in the road. Overall, I am genuinely impressed with this light here. It's lightweight, it is a comfortable rubber grip, and it lights really well. This is a solid spotlight right here. Just as I'm wrapping up, I just noticed there are LEDs on the back of this. There's 3 LEDs right now and there are 4 total, meaning that this is at 75% state of charge. That's pretty cool. That is cooler than I anticipated for something as simple as a spotlight. I was thinking like, oh, I'll just kind of talk about it. It'll be cool to have a spotlight, but man, this thing is actually kind of cool. So I didn't show you in the first section how bright it really is, like where it's shining. I did show you on the wall, like the light bulb itself, and then I showed you out there, but I'm gonna give you the comparison of this shining on the wall versus my little stream light that we were talking about. So right here, this is high power all the way up, and then this is my flashlight here. So flashlight, you can almost not even see my flashlight. So there's an example for you. But if we go down to our low, you can start to see my flashlight here shining through on its high mode, but on its regular mode, it's a lot dimmer. And then if we go to our floodlight, this spotlight's much more, obviously. But that is still a very impressive light. They say that this light will shine up to 450 meters. The spotlight itself on high mode will shine 450 meters away. In low mode, you can shine up to 200 meters away. And then this little floodlight section here on the side shines about 15 meters. While the other two, I don't know how well you're gonna see that at 400 meters or 200 meters. I don't have a way to test that, but the 15 meters does seem a bit more. Like if it was maybe like overhead shining down, maybe 15 meters. Yeah, 30 feet, 15 meters. Yeah, that's not far, but I definitely am impressed because 450 meters is 500 feet. Or 500 yards, almost 500 yards. It's 490 something feet. So almost 500 yards for 450 meters. That is a lot of range for just a small little flashlight like this. Granted, it's not very small. This is rather large, but I've seen much bigger spotlights than this guy. One other nice thing about this guy is it's rugged design. We got rubber grips and rubber trim all around, and they do say that it will withstand a 3-foot drop. The way it's built, I feel comfortable and confident in saying, yeah, it'll survive a 3-foot drop. 3 foot's not very high. That's about waist height anyway. If I were to wish for something more, I would wish that the battery in it was bigger. And that's only because this also works as a battery bank. While the battery itself advertises, I think, 3 hours of use in the high light mode or up to 9 hours in low and 8 hours using just the floodlight, like that's plenty of time for regular use. If it's going to be charging something like a phone, most phones are 5,000 milliamp hours, so I'd almost wish that it had like a full 10,000 milliamp hour battery in here. On the same track of charging though, we kind of talked about how it has USB and USB-C here. And while that is nice, I mentioned that I would rather it had 2 USB-C ports. That way it could run power in and out, or even just one, and then run power in and out of that one single port. That would be nice. I know that USB-A is still cross-compatible for a lot of other things like iPhones or older devices that use like micro USB. I understand that not everyone and not every device is using the most modern and up-to-date charging stuff, and that's fine. So having maybe one USB, but also I just wish that that USB-C was forward and backward power distribution compatible. Is that how you would say that? And then one other last note I do want to mention, because I did see it in the notes, and I'm sure that there's going to be terrible reviews saying, oh, the charge cover falls right off. So this charge cover is not meant to swing out like a door. It's meant to come up and then swing away, spin around. So not flapping out. I actually stretched it out the first time, and this little thing, you can kind of see you got some stretching going on there. We're not going to do that too much more. So you want to swing it away when you're opening that back cover. And while we're looking at the back here, also here's another look at that charge state indicator. We kind of mentioned earlier, you can see we have those 4
LEDs that light up showing you where our battery power is. I charged this one overnight, and so now it's fully charged. And that is it. That is the Forto Spotlight with a single LED in the center shining at 2000 lumens. This guy's pretty cool. Thank you so much to Forto for sponsoring this video. If you want to get this guy for yourself, there will be an Amazon link down in the description below. I am an Amazon affiliate, so using those links do help to support this channel with no additional cost to you. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you want to see in the next video, as well as if you have questions or anything else. I am very responsive in my comments section. And don't forget to sign up for the giveaway in the gleam.io link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.